Hey, so I have a couple questions, and I wanted to hear you to hear you and Yuda more about those questions. Uh,
Sure.
I wrote them here. Let me see. So there's been a couple weeks, maybe like 3 weeks ago or so, something like that. I started dreaming, but when I was dreaming, I was sharing the same messages that I share here in this reality, like messages of love and the things I'm learning here. And so it was for me it was a little bit amazing that I felt that I was sharing the same messages with people I know that had passed away or that haven't passed away, but I was sharing these messages with them, and I think there's probably a connection between what I'm sharing right now and then in dreams. I don't know if that has something to do, and if there's importance in that. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. So you said you were sharing with people that ha are dead that have passed on. Is that right?
Well, that not that are there, but that they were before dying, or I mean, I mean, where they were in this reality and they were a little bit afraid, and I was like sharing the things like, don't be afraid, and the messages, and for me, I was like, wow, maybe there's some relationship in those dreams and in here in physical reality. Maybe, I don't know. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's not really important.
No, it is important. So in our course, we have a whole week on this. It's called Empowering Your Nightlife. So I'll just tell you, Judah here with me, I'm just speaking with Judah, listening to Judah and speaking. So what Judah has taught me is that your nighttime, your sleep time is in some, and this is a little hard to grasp, but in some respects it's more real than your daytime. So when you're asleep, your soul is existing without all the trappings of your body, your roles, your way of thinking, the things you believe. When you're in a dream state, you're more free of all of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Like for instance, if you dreamed a dream that you killed somebody, you wouldn't wake up in the morning and feel guilty or horrified that you'd murdered somebody because you understand it's just a dream, right?
Right.
It's just a dream. It's not real. So I'm listening. So this is the kind of same kind of mercy and acceptance and love that we want to give ourselves all the time because all of it's a dream. Everything we're experiencing is a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we cross over and we leave our body, then we'll be able to look back and understand all of that, that it's a dream that we created, right?
Yeah. Understand.
So when you're sleeping at night, your soul is very free and you're able to be more of your true self, your higher self. You can be much more connected to your higher self, right? So now, just on a for people that are in the beginning part of their journey and they're in more of the lower realms of consciousness, they use their dream state to process their thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
Right. So if they were, let's say, a lower level consciousness person, if they have a lot of stress at work, then at night they would likely dream about how to solve all those issues at work.
All right.
And so their brain goes to work on things. But as you grow in consciousness like yourself, and you don't have a lot of lower emotions and issues, then you begin to use your dream state to travel and to do work. Okay. So when you go to sleep, you're working. So when I sleep, I work all night long. All night long, I'm traveling to different places in the world. I'm talking to different people. I'm visiting people. I'm healing people. I'm loving people. I'm just doing whatever needs to be done as a creator, you see? And
Yeah.
so understand that when you're dreaming, you're not bound by time or space, right? Have you ever been in a dream and you're doing something in the dream and you're doing it over and over, like it feels like for hours,
Yeah.
like doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
understand.
yeah. So when you're sleeping, you're getting things done in the spirit realm. So that could, and you could be doing it in a past timeline. You could be doing it in a present timeline, or you could be doing it in a future timeline. So you might go and visit your grandmother that's been dead for 10 years, but you're there at her bedside and you're encouraging her to be at peace, right? So in the truest sense, you're visiting her before her death and you're communicating with her soul,
Right.
right? You're actually going back and rewriting the past. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
what you want to do is as you learn this and know these things, um, and you may do the course at some point, and it has that whole week on that. But as you're being aware of these things, you start setting intention, right? So when you go to bed tonight, you'll say, Gabriel, I'm available tonight to go anywhere and do anything that's pleasing to source. Um, or you can make it very specific. Like a lot lately, a lot I'm saying, Judah, I want to know myself as the unlimited being that I am. I want to experience myself in my dream tonight as the unlimited being that I am, and I want to experience myself as perfectly connected with 100% of your energy and 100% of who you are, not just a little bit. Right. So whatever's on your heart, you set the intention and you just let it happen. And so when you wake up, you don't have to think too much about what did this mean? And should I take an action on this dream? Because you don't need to take an action on what you saw because you actually already did what needed to be done in the realm of the cosmos in the dream. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. And wonderful. And another thing, well, I wanted to share. It's not really a question, but I wanted to share you to share with you. So lately, I've been talking with most of the people I know here in my workplace and my house and my friends and family.
Mhm.
This message, but and the message, I think it's my purpose of life. Like we saw the last session, share
Yes.
the message of love, and I'm beginning to talk and share and listen. And some
Mhm.
people listen and some people don't. But
Mhm.
I feel that it has begun because then
Yes.
then some other people told me, hey, you came up in the conversation in the other time, and then we went to other places, and then you came again in the conversation about the things you said, and those kinds of
Uh-huh.
synchronicities that I'm aware, and I'm like, wow, it's really
Yes.
starting something.
Yes,
And I'm
exactly.
excited.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. So the last session that we had was your activation. You were activated into your calling, your high calling as a Gabriel, as a messenger angel, as an earth angel connected to Gabriel. So you've been activated and you're seeing the evidence of it. So here I'll tell you the evidence of, and this is Judah speaking, the evidence of being a messenger of God is that when you speak a certain thing to someone, you're inspired to do it. You know in the moment you're inspired to do it. They will never forget what you have said to them. This is how you know it's a message from God. Okay, so there's a verse in Isaiah that says, the word of God never comes back void. In other words, the word of God is never empty. It's never fruitless. It never dies. It always it always accomplishes what it was spoken for, right? So this is really exciting, something for you to grab hold of and understand that when you speak from this high state, that you are a messenger for God. So you're speaking with the energy of God and you're speaking the message of God. You are speaking as God. And so when you do that, whatever you say to that person, they will never forget it. They will never forget it. They might not remember exactly the words, but it will go deep into them as an activation. You see, you're activating them. What you're doing is when you speak whatever you say, even if it's just, hello, brother, when you speak that under that influence of your God self, then they something happens and they wake up,
Yeah.
right? It's like I don't know if you know the Disney story where there was the Sleeping Beauty or the Snow White, and the prince come and kisses them, and then they wake up.
Yeah.
So this is what you're doing. When you speak to certain ones, they're going to wake up. And actually, some of them, my dear, you have a contract with. You have a contract that when you have a soul contract from before you were born, before they were born, you had an agreement together. Okay, brother, if you make it to 25 and you're asleep, I'm going to come and wake you up.
Wow.
You
Wow.
see? And so you will feel that. Like for instance, when I met Chuck, I felt that. I felt the presence of God just kind of overwhelmed me. And I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that whatever happened, I had to stick with Chuck,
Wow.
right?
Amazing.
Yeah, so understand as far as you know, you said some of them can receive it, some of it can't. So what you can do when you feel that kind of coming over you, you can ask Judah or Gabriel or whoever you're working with or your higher self, you can say, ask them to give you a little information. So, for instance, if you were talking to a 5-year-old and you were talking to a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old, you would say things very differently,
Yeah.
right? So, how, if you wanted to express love to a 5-year-old, you would express it very differently to them than you would a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old. So you kind of have to sense where their maturity level is, their consciousness level, right?
Okay.
So and then kind of let God tailor what you say for them. So for instance, some people I meet, the usual conversation, hey, what do you do? Nice to meet you. What do you do? To some persons, I would say, I channel angels. To someone else, I might say, um, I'm a spiritual teacher because they can't handle the thought that I would channel angels,
Yeah.
right? To
I
somebody else, I might say, I'm a psychic or a medium. To somebody else, I might say, I'm a YouTuber.
oh, okay. Yeah.
See,
Yeah, for
all,
example,
all, all of those things are true, but you have to discern what's the level of receptivity.
yeah, I understand that because the same thing happens with my friends when I'm talking to them about this and extra dimensional beings, they most of them make fun of me. They like this guy is crazy. I mean, and I don't. I mean, not in a bad way, but they like this guy is all in vibration because I was talking to them with vibration and stuff, and and sometimes they make fun, but I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings, and but yeah, that's right. So that there's different levels that and of consciousness and different ways to express it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so all of those things are truthful, but it's just tailored to the need. So, see, you're living in the way of mastery. The way of mastery is it doesn't matter to you whether you're honored or humiliated. It makes no difference. That's
Yeah.
what mastery is. It doesn't matter if I'm humiliated with these colleagues or if I'm honored. But what does matter is if you can reach them,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
If you
So
can reach them with love.
so a really quick experience. So I had a friend, a female friend from a long time ago, from I don't know, maybe when I was 17, 18. And then we saw each other and in vacations and that kind of stuff. She didn't live here where I am, where I live, but we're still in contact once or twice a year. And then a couple years ago, um, her husband died suddenly, very young, leaving two young kids with her. So I felt for her. I wasn't still in my wake up still, but I had a like a feeling and a compassion for her.
Mhm.
And last year, I think 2 years ago, she got she got remarried, and then she got cancer. And I'm like, oh, why did all this happen to her? And then with all the things I'm learning, I wanted to visit her and share some message of love. And
Mhm.
so I was looking for her, and I called one of her friends because she wasn't picking up her phone. And then the other friend told me, oh, just go to her house. And I'm like, no, she's married and she my Malin misunderstood things. And she's like, no, go to her house. So I went to her house, and then I asked for her, and then the doorbell tell me, no, she's not here. And then after maybe a week or so, she sent me a message, a long message that she was thankful for me for thinking of her and everything, but she didn't want me to go to her house or to see her kids or everything, and she felt really weird, and I felt she misinterpreted my intention. My intentions were sharing the message of love and compassion. That those were my intention, and she made me feel like I wanted something else, and I was taking advantage of the situation. So I felt bad for some hours. I was a little bit misaligned, but then I got back aligned, and the things I'm learning that it doesn't matter if I did it with love and with my intention. It doesn't matter
That's right.
the outcome. So my question with you, and Judah, I wanted to ask you. So should I share the message and with only the people who ask for it, or with something that with anybody that I feel, because maybe if the people doesn't want to be helped, if you share something, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, let's talk about that. Yes, dear, let's talk about that. So, the way of a master is the way of attraction. hmm So, this is that you, dear, are the magnet. Yes, you are a magnet. And those to whom your message will mean the most and have the largest impact are those who are attracted to you, magnetically attracted to you. You see? So that means you can simply be who you are, where you are, doing what you do in your normal everyday life. And those who need your message will be attracted to you magnetically. In other words, they are coming into your space. They're going to come into your space. They're going to be standing in front of you. They're going to be in the room with you. They're going to be on the phone or on the computer with you. And this is how you know this one has been sent to me. Yes? And you will find that, like the dog, remember, who found you in the park and followed you. The ones who need your message the most, well, everyone needs your message, we will say, my dear, but the ones who are ready for it and who can be transformed by it and make use of it for their own transformation and elevation of consciousness are the ones who will follow you like this puppy, you see. So you're looking for the ones coming to you. They are coming to you. They feel attracted to you. They are following on your heels like that little puppy. And these are the ones that belong to you, you see. And Jesus said it this way, my sheep know my voice and they follow me. Okay? So he was referring to shepherds in the field. You see, when the shepherd in the field calls, when he calls the sheep, the ones who are in his flock know his voice and then follow after him. They don't follow after the other shepherd who's sharing the field with his sheep. You see, they can distinguish the voice of their shepherd and follow. So the ones who will be transformed by the messages you have are the ones who come to you. And they'll be standing in front of you as they have been, as you have described to us in this time. They're in front of you. You feel prompted. You share the message. It's powerful. And they say to you later, that was so powerful. Yes. You see, that's your cue, your sign. Oh, this one is one of my sheep. And the ones who reject or turn away, as you said, has nothing to do with you. Yes? Nothing to do with you at all. Understand that when they reject, if they reject your message, it's not you they're rejecting God, they're rejecting their self. Yes? And so understand that when they reject, this is protection for you. Yes? So that you don't waste your time with someone who is not ready, you see. Because what you have is gold, it is spiritual gold. And so you would never throw your gold in the trash bin or leave it on the street or give it to someone that you knew was going to waste it, would you? Of course not. And so you want to invest your love and your energy in those who can receive it and feel it with abundance. Yes? Okay, so this is a principle from, I don't know if you have it, if you can get it, but it's Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. And by Stephen Mitchell is the one that's my favorite. And when you read this, Lao Tzu was an enlightened master from before the time of Christ, yes.
Yes.
And so Jesus was one of those who stood on his shoulders in a sense. So Lao Tzu taught us, let people come to you. When they come to you, let them stay as long as they want.
Okay.
And if they leave, let them go. So see, Chuck and I experience this all the time. There are people that are attracted to us. And when they come, they receive so much. They are transformed. They are radically transformed because they are open, they are receptive, they're respectful, and they're ready,
Like
right?
me.
Like you, my friend, who now channels the Archangel Gabriel. And then we have others who say really wicked, mean, nasty things to us. And we don't give them any attention at all, zero, because we are not giving our gold, the gold of heaven of what we've been given, to people who are going to waste it or spit on it or throw it in the trash, right? So, so your intention was good. Your intention was to love her. Yes? Yeah. And so there's no harm done, right? And she still received some of that love. The evidence of that was the response that she sent you. But it's better to serve the ones that are like the little puppies following around on your heels. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if you really have a burden on your heart for someone to love them, what you can do, like in the instance with this woman, you can sit in meditation and you can just simply hold her in mind and just send her love. I send her love. I send her love. So let's say her name was Maria, right? So you can sit in meditation. I send Maria my love. I send Maria the love of source. I send Maria the love of source. I send her freedom. I send her healing. And then when you're done doing that, what you're doing when you're doing that is your consciousness is reaching out in love to her consciousness. When you're done with that, you want to close that up. So then you would just say, when you're finished, I dissolve the connection with Maria. Say it 3 times. I dissolve the connection with Maria. I dissolve the connection with Maria. I dissolve the connection with Maria. Because you don't want to leave that door open, right?
Okay.
Okay, because when you're working like that, it's like a prayer, but it's more powerful, sweetie. Okay, it's more powerful than just a prayer. Okay, because you're entangling your energy to with hers for that moment. So you
Okay.
want to then close that portal, close that door when you're done, because you don't want anything from her, any disease or hurt
Yeah.
or whatever she might be going through. You don't want to be
Okay.
subject to that. All right. Does that help?
Yeah. A lot. Thank you very much.
You're
Great.
welcome.
Uh, some other thing real quick. Um, I wanted to see if you can share something with me. Um, I think I'm stable in my emotions.
Mhm.
Um, Better. I'm improving it. But then I have also times with my own family, with my wife, which is a lovely person, and I love her very much. But sometimes we have some a little bit not discussions, but I don't know, rough times because because sometimes I'm an entrepreneur, so sometimes it's a roller coaster. The money goes up and down, and
Yeah.
oof, sometimes it's tough. And then I'm talking to her everything I'm learning, and she doesn't discuss anything, and she doesn't tell me anything bad, and she listens, but I think she gets only like 5% or a little bit, but it's fine with that. And
Mhm.
then when we have some issues of I need to pay this, I need to pay that, she goes, ask your alien friends to help you. As I mean, like kind of like
Yeah.
yeah, not making fun, but maybe a little bit. Maybe I mean like ask them if they can help you pay this and pay that. And I'm like, "Ah, I'm gonna tell Angie this. I'm gonna tell her this."
Yeah.
And she's okay. It's kind of
Yeah.
funny. I don't know if I would like to feel I don't feel like everyday pressure about the money, not at all. Maybe sometimes, but for me, I would like to think to be free financially so I can focus in other stuff
Hmm.
like this instead of trying to work and make money and trying to do this and that. That's what I feel sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So a couple of issues in there. So the first one about, I recognize that with your wife because Chuck sometimes will say, ask Judah to heal me, if he's in pain or something, or ask, why doesn't Judah just fix this? So, do angels, do these beings have power to do certain things? Yes, they absolutely do. But understand that well, it's kind of like with you. Do you have a child?
Yeah, I have two kids.
Two. All right. So imagine, how old are they now?
6 and 4.
Okay. So, for instance, like with your 4-year-old, if your 4-year-old knows do they know how to tie their shoes yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
So when they're 2 or 3, if they need help tying their shoes, you help them because their fingers can't quite do it yet, and it's a challenging task. But then when they're 6 or 7, if they're still asking you to tie their shoes, you're probably going to say, "No, sweetie, you can do it. I'll show you, but you have to do it yourself, right?"
Yeah,
So this is the way it is with the angels and beings that we work with. See, they are here primarily to teach us right? To give us information and wisdom and empowerment and teaching to so that we can be our angel selves. But they will, in my experience, they will draw the line in certain areas because they don't want us to be dependent on them. They want us to stand on our own 2 feet and begin to embody our God state. Yes?
Yeah, makes sense.
So, so what you can do, and so this is a hard one because some of what she's doing is, um, and I recognize it because Chuck and I both can do this at times, what your wife is doing. So what it is there's a frustration, right? Okay, if these beings are all that you say they are, why aren't they intervening? And so there's an anger and a blaming, right? So let's look at this on the chart, um, because, okay. All right. So this is a yellow ray issue. I believe that if all our bills were paid, if all our finances were in order, I would finally be happy. So I am attached. I want and need it, and I am angry with Judah, and I am angry with Carlos's alien beings because they are blocking me from it. I'm blocking from it. I'm blocked from it, so I'm going to blame them. Does that ring true for you?
Yeah,
Okay. So the truth is, we all do it. We blame each other. We blame the government. We blame the economy. We blame the stock market. We blame our business colleagues. We blame our community. We blame our spouses. And if all of that fails, then we'll just blame the angels and the aliens and God too. Okay.
yeah,
So when she does this, just love her and know that it has nothing to do with your angels and your aliens not helping you. That's a lie. They're absolutely there helping you all the time.
I know.
Yes. And so what they're helping you with right now is they're helping your wife to acknowledge where she's giving up her power. Okay. So she feels powerless about the finance issue in some way, and she feels angry and she feels blocked from what she wants. She has given up her power.
Yeah,
Okay. So you just stay in your high spot, okay? And you love her.
yeah,
And you tell her whatever the truth is for you. Like maybe the truth is, sweetie, I don't really have an answer for that, but I'm committed. I am committed to transforming me, my inner life, so that I'm a person that attracts abundance.
yeah. I mean, she's a loving person, and she has some beliefs that probably not the best, but she overall is a loving woman and
Absolutely.
a great mom.
And as we would say here, she had a moment. In other words, we
Yeah,
all have them. Every day we have them. We have a moment where we feel frustrated.
for
And
sure. Yeah,
Chuck does the same thing. Sometimes I was sick a few weeks ago. I had a sinus thing, and he said, "Why won't Judah heal this?" Well, the truth is, I had some issues in me, right, that I needed to work on in order to get that healed.
yeah, yeah. I understand. Yeah. Um, and one more thing, and if it's possible,
Yeah.
uh, so I wanted to ask you. The other day I had this idea and this question. So I know everything happens right here, right now, and so all the horrible things that happen to humanity or that are going to happen, or can we do something about it, or should we do something, or everything is perfect as the way as it is? Um, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Mhm, 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 mhm. Well, dear, you are transforming everything, everywhere, in all realms of time and space by maintaining your connection to source, to life, to love, to liberty, to freedom. Yes. And as you maintain this connection within yourself, within your own inner being, you are becoming a doorway, a gateway, a path, a tunnel from heaven to earth in order to allow more of heaven to come to the earth. As the Christ said, yes, in his famous prayer, let it be here on earth as it is in heaven. So as you're living in your heavenly state in your inner being, you're bringing heaven to earth. And this is the most important thing you can do to change what is going on. Yes? Yeah. So did I tell you the story before about the earthquake in Mexico?
No.
Okay, so in the 80s, there was a terrible earthquake in Mexico
Oh
City,
yeah,
and
I know.
you
I
you
know.
know this one. Okay.
Yeah. But not the story. I mean, I know the yeah, the
Earthquake.
yeah.
So then 18 years later, I think that's right. I need to check my facts, but I think it was 18 years later on the exact same day, all the people in Mexico City came together to remember all the people that had died, to do earthquake drills,
Yeah.
to practice so that the city could be safe if it ever happened again. And guess what happened?
An earthquake.
Another earthquake, and 100 more people died. And so people said, "Oh, this is like demonic or witchcraft, Oh, how did this happen that it happened on exactly the same day 18 years later?" Well, I can tell you how it happened. It happened because all the people in Mexico City were thinking about it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
They were
Wow.
they were thinking about the tragedy that happened 18 years before and all the people that died and how sad it was and they were thinking about it.
Yeah. Wow.
And they were planning for another one.
Yeah.
And they created it with their attention.
Wow. So, for
So,
example,
yeah, go ahead.
so sorry. So, for example, the other day, I got an idea of making a website like a global community, so all the people connected could meditate at the same time on a specific intention. Wouldn't that be powerful? For example, I don't know.
Yes, extraordinarily powerful because if all those people had a different focus that day, that earthquake would have never happened and those people wouldn't have died. So what is the most important to answer your question for you to do to change the world is to put your attention on what is good, what is right, what you want, what's of high service to humanity, what's best for the earth. And if you can get people to join you in doing that, that's all the better, right? All the better. So, it sounds trite. People don't like to hear it. They want to get out in the street and march or protest or, take some sort of action. But the highest action is meditating and setting the intention that you want, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and go ahead.
No, no, it was a great message. I think so. Yeah. On So the other day I was watching one of your videos, and you have mentioned a couple of times, and some other channels too, that the upcomings in the U.S. and in the elections, the things is going to happen. So it got me thinking a little bit of worrying and maybe fear.
Hmm.
Um, and I know your intentions. I mean, Julia's intentions and yours are not that, of course. But how should we prepare? And because I love to go to the US, I got friends there, which I love, and I live with one of the families there, and I wouldn't want them to get hurt or anything. So it got me a little bit worried or something like that. So I wanted to ask you if I know that every person lives its own reality.
Mhm.
So what's the I wanted to see what's the idea there. Uh, should I live my own reality, and or is it gonna be my own reality that or how can I send some love to them or not worrying about that?
Yeah. Well, what Chuck and I are doing is we do not listen to any news at all, period. So we are literally unaffected by it because we don't listen to any of it. My practical recommendation as Angie is don't watch any news. If you see a headline, you might read the headline, but don't read the text, just the headline perhaps. And just don't give it any attention because it just adds to it, right? And keep meditating and praying for peace and praying for peace and praying for peace and praying for peace. And just send love to, just sit in meditation and send love to the United States. I send love to the United States and peace, right? And and then know at the end of the day, no matter what happens through the election year, that it will serve its purpose, right?
Yeah.
Some of the purposes that are being served by war right now is so that we will finally be so utterly, utterly, utterly sick of it that we will refuse to participate. But there are areas of the world that have very low levels of consciousness, and so, but we can't help them by joining them, right? Like you can, if like for instance, there are some countries that are only in this red gray, you know, as
Yeah.
a collective, they're collective, right? And and so if you're able to live here and above, do that
All right.
because
Yeah.
it doesn't help you to join down here, right?
Yeah. So
Now, what will
it's
happen? I'm sorry, dear. So
no,
what will
no, no,
happen?
go ahead. Sorry, sorry.
I'm sorry. What will happen is you keep growing and you're in these higher rays all the time. If you let yourself get pulled a little bit by the news or something on TV or something someone tells you, if you go down in this ray, it'll actually make you feel sick and ill and it will be extremely uncomfortable. And that's a gift
Yeah.
because it's like if you put your hand on the stove, it's going to burn you so bad that you'll never do it again. So that's some of what's happening to you is you're starting to live in these higher realms. And so if you go back to some of the things that you've done that normal people can do, normal people can watch the news and it's
Yeah.
not a big deal for him because they live in here. But for you, it's like putting your hand on a hot stove.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, dear, what was your question?
Uh, no, I think it was answer. Oh, yeah, it was similar that here in Mexico you can find really, really violent places and peaceful places too, and loving
Uh-huh.
people and bad people. So, for example, I live here and I live in peace and my family and I mean, I hear something and I like everybody like, but yeah, I need to stay in the higher vibration.
Right, because you can't attract that. If it's not in you, you won't attract it.
Yeah.
But if you're afraid of it, being afraid of it does attract it.
Yeah.
Fear attracts more fear, and love attracts more love.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I saw it in your videos that says um you end war by loving peace, not by hating war. Something like that. It's really cool. And some other thing I wanted to ask you. So I've been listening to many channelers, and there's many that I like Bashar. Um, there's the Sarah Landon, the Council, and many others, and the Arturians Council from Daniel Scranton and
Yes.
Adamus. Is it okay to listen to all those because there's different, a little bit different perspective, but the message is good. It's loving and
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, just you'll find the common threads in each one, right? And you'll hear certain things that really resonate as true for you. Certainly. And then just anything that doesn't isn't helpful, you can let it go. But of course, it's fine to do that. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
All
very much.
right.
I'm really
You're
appreciate. I
you're
really enjoy this time, Angie.
we love you and appreciate you. So I want to ask you, I have a thought. I want to see what you think. Um, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the whole Judah family. I feel like there are a lot of people that are lonely and they feel disconnected and they want to have friends that have these things in common with them. So
Like
I'm
me.
think like you, and so I'm thinking of having Telegram groups, which is like WhatsApp. Do you know
Yeah,
WhatsApp?
yeah,
So I was thinking of having Telegram groups and for each area of the world where people in the Judah family can talk to and find other people in their area. So I wanted to ask if it would have to be a volunteer effort because there would be so many, but I wanted to ask if you might like to lead a Telegram Judah family group for Mexico.
yeah, for sure. Be
Would
great.
you would you like to do that?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out and let you know. What I would probably do is just do one training for all of the leaders of the groups, and I'd have you come for that.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So last thing, um, I want you to get Judah treats. You can get it for $1 for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And when you get it and you get in there, there's one on financial abundance. Okay. So I want you to use that. You will use all of them, but especially the financial abundance one. And if you don't have the money to finish the subscription, that's fine. You
No,
can just
I have the money. I mean,
you
just
can
so,
you can can
no, don't
it's
worry. I have
it's
it.
okay with me if you cancel it after 2 weeks, but if you want to, but I just want you to have that one on financial
Thank
abundance,
you.
okay? And then you can even record it if you want to record it, and then you can cancel the subscription. But I want you to do that one because I want so hear what I'm saying to you. Your income goes up and down because you don't believe you're worthy. Okay. So I want you to go after that with the Judah Treats program. Okay. So I want you to go after that. This can change. I'm worthy. This can change. I'm worthy. This can change. I'm worthy. And when you do that inside, and you can use the Judah Treats to do it, then this is going to change for you. And you're going to have consistent income, and the income's going to start going up. It has nothing to do with your business. It has everything to do with your insides.
I
Okay?
understand.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
We
Angie.
we love you.